the water or infrastructure, general infrastructure area, because you're going to develop things, but then they're going to have to be operated, operational funding. You're talking about hospitals, right? We have hospitals, but there's no operational funding going in. So you're going to do another hospital, and how are we going to fund it? The critical issue is that even with water, we've got the same problem. Over the last 20 years, we haven't charged properly for water. Yeah. So what has happened is we now have as you said, couple of $1 billion worth of work to do. We never collected that money from the users. Sure. So we now need to say, how are we going to fund the operational part of it? We can build the infrastructure now. Operationally, how is the money going to come? I think that's the more critical area.
I think those are two very intelligent questions and analysis, and I agree with you 110%. So the first thing, let me go back to the hospital operational expenditures. In fact, there is no shortage of funding for operational expenditures for the hospitals. What happened over the last 10, 15 years, there was an effort to try and build something new and ignore completely the infrastructure that existed. So 227 facilities, 3 divisional hospitals, 27 sub-divisional hospitals, health centers and nursing stations. If you go around the country, they went and built a hospital in Kayasi for $30–40 million, which could have gone on the upgrade of the Singatoka hospital. Same thing happened throughout the country, and we are now fixing, Korobo, Lavuka, Tavuni, Nasori, and there are several of them left. The operational funding was always there. The infrastructure was falling apart. So doctors walking I went to a health center, and I went inside and saw the doctors, this is soon after we got into government, that there was dust. The nurses were in tears. The doctors' quarters was falling apart. They showed me totes inside the quarters and said, this is how we live here. We never had that before. So the operational funding was always there, and we provided additional funding to the health ministry. It's just that we are catching up on the infrastructure, and people expect us to do it in 1 year or 2 years. It's getting impossible to do that. CWM, when I was in opposition, we used to take pictures of broken windows. Some are still broken, and hopefully under these 27 projects that we have, we will fix it. So you're right. We did not invest in the existing infrastructure. You go and look at government quarters around the country. All of them are falling apart. And I'm not exaggerating. This is the fact. So we are working on that. On the water, and that's a very good point. And this is something that we have a huge challenge on us, because people, over the years, there was no increase in water rates, no increase in EFL rates. And people are used to a rate. For any government now to increase water rate, to even talk about it, is becoming very challenging. Bus fares, bus industry is falling apart. And the effect of that is that if a bus doesn't run in a particular route, who is affected? The poor, people who don't have cars. But these are the very people who were told that we are not going to increase bus fares for you, we are not going to increase water rates for you, we are not going to increase EFL rates to you. So we are now looking at, especially water rates, corporatizing, Water Authority of Fiji. And you're right, not only just $1 billion for old age pipes and infrastructure, we haven't addressed the sewage part of it, wastewater treatment and all that. And ADB report has already indicated more than $1 billion that would be required to fix that. So all I'm saying to our investors, our people is, look, we have recognized this as a government. We are taking some decisive actions. We are looking at how we can get our donors, our development partners to help us. Our physical space remains very tight. You know, you've already heard about the debt situation. So in light of all that, what we've started in the last 2 years, in terms of funding the government a little bit better, making sure that we rationalize some of those expenditures,